United States of America President Joe Biden has resigned his interest to contest as presidential candidate of Democrats in the forthcoming USA presidential elections. The president in the Facebook post few minutes ago named the USA Vice President Kamala to be nominated as the Democrats' presidential candidate in the forthcoming elections. My fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president. And it's been the best decision I've made. Today I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this, Joe Biden said. We had earlier reported that the United States of America President Joe Biden has said that while in isolation for the COVID-19 recovery medical treatment, he will continue to discharge his constitutional duties as the president of USA. Joe Biden, who tested positive to COVID-19 on Wednesday during his electioneering campaign tour at Nevada, issued a statement through his verified Facebook page on Thursday morning night. In his words, he said, "I tested positive for COVID-19 this afternoon, but I am feeling good and thank everyone for the well wishes. I will be isolating as I recover, but during this time I will continue to work to get the job done for the American people." We had reported that information from the annual OsazuwaAkonedo U.S. conference where the President of the United States of America, Joe Biden, was expected to deliver a speech as part of his campaign to win voters ahead of the forthcoming election indicated that the President has tested positive to COVID following his campaigns earlier in the day at Nevada. A video of the announcement was made available through the live broadcast on Facebook page of President Joe Biden, whose handlers have hooked up to the event to cover and broadcast the expected president's speech live through Facebook from the venue in Las Vegas. OsazuwaAkonedo's U.S. President and CEO, Janet Mogwa, took to the podium on Wednesday, saying, Biden spoke with her on the phone apologizing for not being able to make it. "Thank you all so much for your patience and understanding regret. I was just on the phone call with President Biden, and he shared his deep disappointment at not being able to join us this afternoon. The president's been at many events, as we all know, and he just tested positive for COVID," said Janet Mogwa. The 81-year-old was expected to speak to a room full of Hispanic voters in the swing states ahead of the November election in which he will contend with the former president of USA, Donald Trump, who earlier in the week narrowly escaped death after a gunman shot at him severally while on stage campaigning at Butler, Pennsylvania. The former president sustained injuries from one of his ears hit by the bullets. Officials at the White House have stated that Biden is experiencing mild symptoms. They also added that the president is vaccinated and boosted. Earlier today, following his first event in Las Vegas, President Biden tested positive for COVID-19. He is vaccinated and boosted and he is experiencing mild symptoms. He will be returning to Delaware where he will self-isolate and will continue to carry out all of his duties fully during that time. The White House will provide regular updates on the president's status as he continues to carry out the full duties of the office while in isolation. Mogwa told the guests that the president has sent his regrets. "So of course, we understand that he needs to take the precautions that have been recommended. He did not put anybody at risk. He said to tell my folks said we're not going to get rid of them that quickly. We're going to have a chance to hear from him in the future directly. He's just really sorry he couldn't be with us, and obviously we share that disappointment, but we've seen how COVID is still happening in our community still, and we understand that protects all of us," Mogwa stated in quote.
Hey everyone, so Donald Trump has picked his new running mate, J.D. Vance. Trump looked for someone he knew would be a rubber stamp for his extreme agenda, and make no mistake, J.D. Vance will be loyal only to Trump, not to our country. And unlike Mike Pence, Vance said he would have carried out Trump's plan to overturn the 2020 election. He supports a national abortion ban and voted against protecting IVF. And if elected, he will help implement the Extreme Project 2025 plan for a second Trump term, which would target critical programs like Head Start and Medicare. But we are not going to let that happen.
OsazuwaAkonedo, bringing you the news in a more digital way.